It is such a pleasure to welcome Emma to Showbiz India TV. I just wanted to say what a delightful film you've made. You took me right back to Jane Austen's novels. I know you're a big fan. How does it feel?
It feels amazing. I mean, to make a period movie as your first film is something that you're often told is not a possibility. So I just feel extraordinarily proud that we actually did it, and it was a joy to get to work in such a magical time period, and it really is incredible. When you see your first horse and carriage come onto a film set, it's pretty exciting. Also, I've always said, like, you as a director, you spend a lot of time behind a monitor, like studying those frames and with your script supervisor. And I used to remember, there would just be all this madness, going on in front of me, whether, crews coming in and setting up lights, hair and makeup checkups, people getting into position, and then suddenly when, the AD shouts, you're kind of getting ready to roll and everything settles. And suddenly that frame transports you back hundreds of years. It's an extraordinary feeling and something I will remember forever.
Miss Dorton, it is common knowledge you have been cast into this world without fortune or prospects. It is my desire to have you as my wife.
I am greatly honored by your offer, but I cannot accept.
This offer will not be extended a second time.
Third, actually.
Out of my way, idiot geese!
My dearest Selina, will you come visit me in London? I promise you will be well entertained.
I read an article of yours where you compared love in the 1800s to love now with people swiping, but the emotional feeling is the same. Talk to me about that. That was so beautifully said.
Yeah, I've always felt the rules of society and the way we, find our partners, find our, relationships has obviously changed through time. But I actually feel our emotional understanding of what it is to fall in love and what it is to fall out of love, I think that's actually probably something I like to think has been pretty consistent through time. I don't think the emotional pain is any more or any less, or the emotional joy is any more or any less. So I think for me, that was sort of the underlying thinking for how to sort of tell this story emotionally, because I realized that if I could create scenarios for the actors where there was modern parallels, like modern understanding, ways to relate to the material and relate to the time period just by thinking about it in the modern equivalent, I realized that the emotional performance would still be the same. So I have spoken a lot about the fact that the opera scene and the date between Malcolm and Julia is like Malcolm swiping right or left on Tinder, and the caricature is very much like Julia getting paparazzi'd by someone and that ending up on the front page of the Daily Mail and being totally humiliated. So it was a lot of fun for all of us, for me and the cast, to sort of find those modern parallels to connect to.
I need your assistance. There is a gentleman, Mr. Malcolm. He humiliated me. No. I then found out he had a list.
You have a list of qualifications for a bride.
I would love for Mr. Malcolm to receive the comeuppance he deserves. Plus, it could be rather fun.
If you could choose a couple of favorite scenes of yours, what would they be?
I do have one favourite scene, and it's a really small scene, and I think it would surprise you, but obviously the scene where Julia and Cassie are, fighting about the eyelashes and the cornrows, and Selena's on the floor reading all the books. I think it's my favourite scene, one, because I think the lighting is so stunning in that scene, and the geeky side of me is just obsessed with the candlelight. But also, when Zoe walked out on that set with a book on her head, it was the first time I think I realised that the comedy in this film and what these actors were doing was going to be rather brilliant. And the two of them fighting across those rooms on that couch just had me in fits all afternoon. And we actually shot it at 10 o'clock in the morning or something funny like that. But it's actually that scene, the Cassie and Julia relationship developing before my eyes was definitely a top favourite.
If we present you as the perfect woman, then he discovers he does not meet the requirements on your list. That would be a perfect sort of poetic justice.
What would you like the audience to remember from this film?
I would like them to remember the feeling it gives them. I very much set out to create a film that makes you feel good, that evokes a sense of joy. You don't have to necessarily, go into this film looking for anything political or anything other than just a really good time. And I stopped calling it a period drama a long time ago, and I've been calling it a period rom-com ever since. So really, truthfully, a little sense of joy and something to really warm people's day during a time which I think there's not much joy in the world right now. So I hope it just evokes a sense of joy.
Love cannot be planned so carefully. It will stir things up a bit. That is part of its charm.
And make sure if you like this video that you do subscribe to us. And we love to hear from you, so tell us your opinion right here. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so you can get notifications whenever we post something new.